Roberta pushed her hip flask of sherry deep in her dark brown leather handbag and snapped the clasp shut. With a deep sigh, she got up from the velvet armchair to hide her glass behind the old atlas on the third shelf of the mahogany bookcase. Ella thrashed about the kitchen, cupboard doors slammed, saucepans placed too heavy on the hob. She burrowed into the kitchen whenever she was troubled, baking her worries away, often lifting cakes out of the oven and scraping them straight into the bin. She had first turned to the solace of the kitchen the night their mother and father died. On the way home from a choral recital, John O'Callaghan had no opportunity to react when Sean McCarthy drove his tractor the short trip home from the pub without even a small light showing. All three were killed in what Rathsawney later referred to as the tragic accident. For days, Ella and Roberta were surrounded by so many people, but within 3 weeks, the girls were on their own in the big empty house. With their father gone, so too was his solicitor's salary. Neither had John O'Callaghan found time to provide for his daughters, so busy was he running Roscarbury Hall and throwing money after horses on a Saturday afternoon. Ella did not waste time on resenting her father's irresponsible attitude, but took their new state of low financial means in her stride. She set to getting in as much money as possible to keep Roscarbury Hall standing. She baked cakes for the Rathsawney shops and took in ironing to keep up with the bills. Roberta continued doing the outside jobs as best she could. They got into a routine every day of doing their chores and delivering the bread and cakes in 2 big bags, while at the same time catching up on their necessity shopping. They did not move far from Rathsawney, but were sometimes called upon by the department store in Arklow to do relief holiday work, and also helped out at the local hardware shop on busy weekends. When the fountain pump broke down, there was no money to repair it. When the garden needed tending and the plants needed pruning, they did not bother until they had to. When rain leaked into the attic rooms, through gaps left when the slate slipped, they called in Hegarty, the local farmer, who brought his extension ladder and gingerly went out on the roof to tack the slates back in place. When the job was too big for the handyman, Ella managed to organize a loan from a sympathetic bank manager. Tired of the noise from the kitchen, Roberta made for her bedroom, stopping in the hall to read the note Ella had placed there. "Jerry says he will collect a bit early for 10 Mass. Be ready. Don't make us late. E." Ella waited until she heard the knocking of Roberta's walking stick on the landing overhead before she rang her cousin Iris. "I need your help. I think I have a good plan. It is about keeping Roscarbury and making money. I think you are going to approve." "Shoot it out, for God's sake, girl." "No, I don't have time now. 10 o'clock Mass in the morning." She rang off before Iris had time to protest. Ella chose the blue swing coat for Mass, a fitting backdrop to her favorite vice brooch, 9 balls of Montana blue crystals in a simple circle setting. Her mother had only worn it on special occasions. There wasn't another one like it, she told her daughter, and Ella believed it. Carefully she fastened the brooch to her left lapel and stood in front of the mirror, tugging her coat lightly to straighten it. Not that anybody took much notice of her these days. Jerry O'Hare's Mercedes lumbered up the avenue. She watched as he eased his immense frame from the driver's seat, a cigarette hanging from the corner of his mouth. Leaning against the fountain, he puffed quietly as he waited for the O'Callaghan sisters. Roberta was already in the back hall, wearing her black coat ringed with fur at the sleeves and collar. Her large grey handbag and gloves reflected the patina of her shoes. The sisters took each other in without saying a word. "Good morning, girls. How are we this morning?" Jerry O'Hare collected the sisters every Sunday to bring them to and from Mass. He did it out of kindness, though his Christmas box from the O'Callaghans was exceedingly generous. They put up with his silly ways and sometimes even looked forward to his fake flirtatious line of talk. Iris pushed into the seat beside them, towards the middle of the church. "You got me to Mass, Ella. What is it you